All right, so now eggs is not even safe. They are engineering eggs. They don't even come from real chickens. They can make these eggs in a matter of minutes. They mix up a solution. They are actually they're handcrafting yolks.
Here's why you should never wake someone during sleep paralysis. A man in the US posted this creepy video. According to him, he woke up in the middle of the night to strange noises, heavy moans or raspy breathing. When he looked at his wife, he was, to put it mildly, shocked.
This old phone shows a parallel dimension. So this person has an old phone that when they record with it is able to identify a parallel universe where a Mandela effect has apparently occurred. So many people remember Britney Spears having a plaid skirt in this video. But then when you look it up, every video shows her wearing a black skirt. Except when you apparently record it with an old phone.
What's up, beautiful people? Hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome and welcome back to yet another video. On today's video, we are looking at the most interesting, creepy, and of course scary videos that are going to make you question your entire existence. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a video. And without further ado, buckle up and let's dive right in.
So here's Osiris next to the human brain, and you can see clearly that this is representing human anatomy. And if we look at the story of Osiris, in his story, in his mythologies, he died and resurrected, which is symbolic of the spiritual process of awakening. Why? Because Osiris represents the midbrain, which is your reptile brain, the animalistic state of consciousness. And this is the state of consciousness that we must raise from. And we have to symbolically kill ourselves, removing who we think we were, because we're stuck in the reptile brain, in order to ascend to a higher mind. So the story of Osiris is actually about death and resurrection, escaping your lower mind towards the higher mind. And this is why he's known as the god of the underworld, because the underworld is your reptile brain where consciousness can't really create. It's stuck in a survival state of reaction. Everything they've told you about these cathedrals is a complete lie. These were not places of worship, and they were never built or designed to be a church. These were healing centers. But how do these centers actually heal you? Through light and geometry. Now let me explain. If I shine a light through a geometric pattern, this pattern represents a specific frequency. This is what you call cymatics. Every frequency has its own sacred geometric pattern. So when you shine a light through this medium, it changes the frequency and becomes that cymatic pattern. Plus the colored stained windows, right? Red, blue, purple. This is light therapy. When you shine light rays through a specific color, it blocks out all of the other colors and only lets through the red light, for example, if it goes through the red. So this is allowing red, blue, and purple through. And what this does is have healing effects on the human body and the biofield. So all of this was technology. This is why when you walk inside of these places, you feel high energy, you feel different.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
Every time you think, you move, everything you do goes into that central toroidal structure of your atoms. Just to show you the beauty of the human voice, this is the work of John Stuart Reid and his partners and the Cymoscope, just to show you the infinite number of shapes of sound as sound manifests in physical form. Every frequency has its own very specific shape. And there are an infinite number of these. Sound manifests reality. The moment you make a sound, it goes on in three-dimensional, in all space, as a bubble out of your mouth. When you see the three-dimensional bubble cut in half, and you look at the cross-section of it, can you see the cross there in the middle? And you start seeing the inspirations behind the crosses.
Everything owes its existence solely and completely to sound.
And when you drill deeper into some of these images, these cymatic patterns of sound, it becomes even more obvious what these guys knew, because you find this, the cross in a circle, and you realize that this cross in a circle, being the source of sound, was the inspiration for the symbols when they came up with them for the religious denominations, telling us that they actually understand cymatics, they understand source, they understand resonance, and they hid it in the symbols with which they then keep oppressing and enslaving the people.
Look at the patterns. Magnetron. This is why so many magnificent rose windows resemble cymatic patterns so closely. This is why they look like the petrified pulsations of a star.
Even the medicine wheel in Native American culture is just a cross in a circle, telling us that sound heals. And they're absolutely right, sound does heal. Because if sound is the primary source of all things, we should be able to use sound for everything. And that's exactly what we're dealing with here. Sound levitates, it boils water, it creates light, it creates DNA, it heals, it destroys pathogens. It's the precursor to electromagnetism. This is an important thing. Sound causes an electromagnetic effect, not the other way around in the universe. And this is amazing because when all of this starts falling into place, everything can be explained. We can truly start to understand everything about the atomic structure, from the smallest atoms to everything in creation.
Let's see if the door is open. Nobody allowed in there? Nobody's allowed in there at all?
No, they have a wedding going on.
Is there any time where the public is allowed to come in here?
No, it's not a church. This is not a church.
I mean, look around the world. Pyramids in Egypt, the Mayans temples, even old cathedral built with sacred geometry. If you look at the ancient civilizations, you see that most of them understood the math of sunlight, vibrations, and shapes better than we do today. But you see, the modern education, it always brushes past those details, right? The more humans learn how to heal themselves, the less control big systems hold, and the harder the people become to control. You know?
How could they move these 80-ton basalt boxes through these tunnels? When engineers look at this stuff, they can see that this is tremendously advanced technology and building, and we don't know what these things were. Megaliths are what's important. The largest megaliths that we know about right now are the megaliths at Baalbek in Lebanon, which is right near the Syrian border. These stones weigh about 1,000 tons. So why are people building with such giant blocks of stone, which would seem so difficult to us? Ultimately, that was easy for them. We have the same thing in Jerusalem. And what they found was this giant block here. We don't know how much this block weighs, but it's also like 1,000-ton block of stone. But so King Solomon's temple at Jerusalem is similar to Baalbek. It's built on top of another ancient structure that's gigantically huge. This is the unfinished obelisk at Aswan in southern Egypt. Egyptologists don't have an explanation for obelisks. I mean, it's a massive undertaking to create an obelisk, to lift it up out of its quarry, to move it somewhere, and just to stand it up. Modern Egyptians can't do it today. This is a serapeum, and what's in there are these gigantic basalt boxes. They weigh about 80 tons. But how could they move these 80-ton basalt boxes through these tunnels? What mainstream archaeologists are saying, well, you just get so many hundred people pulling on a rope, but there's no place for these people to stand. These ruins here, they're at a place called Ollanta Tambo. Huge blocks of granite. This is what it looks like today. This is what it looked like during Inca times too. This is a satellite photo of Lake Titicaca. Lake Titicaca is on the Altiplano of South America. So on the southern part of Lake Titicaca is Tiwanaku. This is the great famous Gate of the Sun at Tiwanaku, carved into one giant solid piece of granite. They had to have power tools to do this. This is called the Fuente Magna Bowl. It has two types of Sumerian writing on it. It has Sumerian hieroglyphs on the right side, and then it has Sumerian cuneiform on the left side. And this is an archaeological time bomb in South America. The main place where we see stone balls and where they're the most famous is Costa Rica. They're various sizes. They're of granite. Archaeologists totally admit and know that these are man-made. They're not natural. These are absolutely artificial. All right, let's go to Franz Josef Land in the Russian Arctic. This is up near Spitsbergen, but it's to the east. Well, what do you see up there? Bunch of stone balls. These are some stone balls in Bosnia. These ones are in Siberia. Let's go to Easter Island. And what do we find there? A stone ball. This is the quarry on Easter Island. Yeah, what you're seeing here with a lot of these statues is that their bodies are deep inside the soil. There's 40 feet of this statue underground. According to the Easter Islanders, they were from another continent that they called Hiva. But Hiva's now under the water in the Pacific, and they're saying that Easter Island is the last bit of it. The story of Atlantis is the story of a pre-flood civilization. Some civilization that's before, say, 10,000 BC or something like that. Atlantis, in theory, according to Plato, was out in the Atlantic. There's other lost lands too, literally a lost continent that goes south of India down to Australia and Madagascar. And somehow there's this lost civilization that's underwater in the Indian Ocean.
A Chinese company just unveiled a humanoid robot so realistic, thousands of people online insisted a real human was hiding inside. Meet Iron Xpeng's humanoid robot that moves so naturally it crossed the uncanny valley. When it walked on stage at their AI Day in Guangzhou, over half the online viewers flooded the comments saying there's no way this is real. So they unzipped its back and cut open its leg live on stage, revealing cooling systems, whirring fans, and fully mechanical internals. But here's the problem nobody talks about. How do you make a humanoid robot that moves like a model on a catwalk without sacrificing functionality? Xpeng figured out something no robotics company has ever done. They built Iron from the inside out, 82 degrees of freedom, including 22 in each hand. It features a humanoid spine that bends like a real person, bionic muscles, and full-body synthetic skin with touch sensors. Here's where it gets insane. It's powered by 3 custom AI chips delivering 2,250 trillion operations per second, and it's the world's first humanoid robot running on an all-solid-state battery, making it dramatically safer than lithium-ion Ion. But the controversial part? You can customize the body shape, sex, hair length, and clothing for your desired purpose. Even Elon Musk commented, saying Tesla and China will dominate. XPeng plans mass production by late 2026, and when Ion hits the market, the line between human and machine will get a whole lot thinner.
Ion 来证明他是他自己，但是我相信未来会证明，在这一次的机器人质证，证明他是自己会推动中国机器人整个行业更健康、更蓬勃的发展。如果这样，他就会是值得。我们团队激烈的争吵讨论他怎么质证。我们先有请工作人员。那么我们找到一个被迫不的一个方式，我们想用剪刀打开机器人的腿部以下，我们会看到这个机器人它有皮肤、有肌肉、有骨骼。在我们之前，我们自己没有尝试过在机器人通电的情况下剪掉它的皮肤跟肌肉。那么在最后1个小时，我们决定这样做。我们机器人团队非常的反对，他们担心它会摔倒，他们担心它会剪坏。那么不管怎么样，我觉得给他们一点掌声，好不好？我们从来没有剪开过，所以我也不知道会发生什么。这个估计非常的困难，因为你们知道，我们为了保护机器人，为了让机器人保护周边的环境，我们给机器人在骨骼以外有较多的肌肉的组织的填充，以及外面所包的皮肤。那么，实际上这对我们的机器人是一个非常大的挑战，它对整个的运动、对整个的这个乐观力、对整个的姿态都有很大的变化。但是我们还是义无反顾地做了。实际上，我想补充一下，就是我们机器人为什么做的这么纤细？我们在关节上面做了非常多的创新。那么我说实话，今天这一次质证让我很开心，有我们的更多的供应链企业更愿意帮助小鹏跟我们一起去推动机器人能够更快速的量产。这是我今天没有想到，我特别感谢，我也期待能够在明年的年底，真正的早一点的把一个好的高等级的人形机器人能够真正量产带给到我们的身边。我们可以看到，这个他刚刚把上面的皮肤剪开了，他现在正在去剪肌肉。实际上，这可能对我们来说也是一次真实的直播的测试，因为这个肌肉我自己抓过，它非常的结实啊，它很有韧性，也有弹性啊，它很难去真正的剪开，实际上是。不慌，慢慢剪啊！这个我特别怕别剪到手上。好，我们看到这个小腿的这个肌肉，把它剪下来了。好，感谢艾文，感谢工作人员，请大家下台，谢谢。还能走吗？我们相信，我们不用再做什么证明，它绝对是机器人，对不对？
This is like trying to produce a human. Yes.
A robot is building another robot.
Elon Musk.
Now we're entering a room where you'll see the future, where you'll see how far China has come in humanoid robotics. They're building an army in this room.
So this is the newest robot that they got in EX robot. This is the new one.
That's scary.
Look at the skin. Look at the details. 这个是 Joe， 打个招呼。
Could they pose a threat to humanity one day?
哎，还有个这个吗？哎 ，This is the first EX robot who can walk. Okay. For the future, they will have a full, complete robot humanoid one.
In the future, they'll be used in fields like education and healthcare. They'll become part of society.
In the future, the robots gonna build robots. So they think that the robot in the future, we can use it in education, in services, helping old people in hospitals. So he thinks that we really need robots in the future.
She's looking at me.
It means that in the future, we're gonna have more robots.
More robot, and maybe we're gonna stop this.
Yes. He said like the machine will never get tired from building robots. Think like a factory of building cars.
It never stop.
Never stop. 你们现在有几个机器人？总共
A robot is building another robot. Look how they're assembling the parts. Let's see how AI is being used.
He said, look at all these faces behind you. So which one is his face? Look for it. Come.
This one?
Yes.
I found it.
很像，很像。
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He knows that his face here. It's made of what? Chocolate?
It's made from silicon gel.
Why is it huge?
For them, take it like an art.
Woo. Did we just step into a Chinese village?
This is like the traditional Chinese dress.
These robots will also be used for tourism purposes.
吓我一跳 He scared me. Put your hand.
What's happening?
The doctor can just read your hand and tell you how your health is, if you're healthy or not.
Doctor.
And here we are with the modern hospital. It's a robot making operation to a human. They cannot put a human there, so they just put a robot. So they hope that in the future, robots gonna help the human in the hospital, in operation, in medicine.
This is how they will assemble humanoid robots.
It can punch?
他说能不能打人
All of these are things that will help us as humanity.
We are the first foreigner to enter this museum.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
谢谢你，谢谢你，谢谢你。
Okay.
You'll feel like you're in a sci-fi movie. Look, is this a funeral or what?
So this is like the latest skin robot they could do. You can touch the skin. It feels real.
Oh.
Which hand is real and which one is the robot's?
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to the future, my friend.
Okay, this is like trying to produce a human. Yes.
While the US and other global powers were busy waging wars and conflicts here and there, China was quietly shuffling the deck to rewrite the rules of the game, calmly and effectively.
Beethoven. Whoa, whoa.
It attacked her.
Okay.
Picture this, yeah? It's 2030. You're in a mall. A security robot strolls past you. You see another robot delivering food and another one cleaning. And at some point, your brain stops registering them as robots and starts seeing them as part of the environment. That's the near future we are building. A world where humanoid machines blend into real life. I mean, like, isn't this the same way like smartphone blended in our pockets? Like, this is how it started. Now imagine, I just can't wait to see where this leads. But to be honest, it's both amazing and a little terrifying at the same time. But seriously, we're so cooked. Let me know what you think.
I was just wondering, have you seen the movie WALL-E? Because I feel like, as you've been saying with AI and all the potential benefits, why does it not make sense for us to invest all of our money, all of our time into developing really, really powerful super AIs so that they can just take care of all of our problems, and in the future we don't have to like worry about things like working and jobs?
Okay, let me answer that. If we had a political system that was run for the benefit of the people, that's exactly what we should do. We should have very powerful AI that does everything for us. We should be very careful to design it so it cares more about us than it does about itself.
Do you think that is what Mr. Musk and Mr. Bezos have in mind? Do you think that's why they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars to say, hey, isn't this great? We can lower the work week. We can guarantee healthcare, high quality healthcare to everybody. We can expand life expectancy. We can solve global warming. Man, let's go do it. That's what we want to do. Do you think that's what these guys have in mind?
Probably not.
Probably not. And what Dr. Hinton was saying is exactly the issue. Are AI and robotics inherently bad? Absolutely not. But again, I get back to the point that I started. Understand, the people who are pushing this transformative revolution are the richest people in the world. They are not staying up nights worrying about working people. In my view, they want even more wealth and they want even more power. So the struggle is not whether AI is good or bad, it's who controls it and who benefits from it. That is really the fundamental issue in my view.
He clearly does have a point. You see, billionaires and large corporations do not invest in things that don't generate profit. Or if they do, they'll try not to lose money, therefore use other people to subsidize the cost, right? Which means even though AI has the potential to improve the life of the average person, it will definitely not be used that way. I mean, you think that they're investing all that money for us to use these robots for free? No, there's definitely a catch. And actually the Black Mirror series shows it all.
My prediction is that work will be optional.
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 This scares a lot of folks here when it comes to the future of jobs. So let's hear about your thoughts, Elon and Jensen, on that.
Sure. Well, if you say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So.
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. Now, between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. If you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now, there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints. But I think at some point, currency becomes irrelevant.
Okay, so if currency will become irrelevant, what will be?
What happens to Elon Musk's brain implant patients when things go wrong? Like, would we even know? I'm not so sure that we would. And let me show you why. So this is part 4 of my investigation into Neuralink, where we're going to talk more about the patients, you know, the people who are letting Elon Musk's company put computers into their brains. For full transparency, in researching this, I found there to be one overarching problem, which is that tracking these patients is a goddamn mess. Like, Neuralink announces them inconsistently. Sometimes we learn about patients the same day of surgery. Sometimes we'll learn about them months later, sometimes 6 months later. Sometimes we'll just get a first name. Sometimes we get no name at all. Which is why I've decided that I'm going to do something that Neuralink won't, or apparently can't be bothered to do, and create a publicly available registry of all of the known patients over on my Substack, the Dre Dossier. And I'm going to include what their surgery was, where it was, how they're doing. This will, of course, be based off of publicly available information. I'm not privy to the actual insights from the trials, but this will at least give us a sense of, I don't know, organization, which is what we should be getting from a company who is running these risky medical trials. Now, it's important to note what is considered normal when it comes to Neuralink patients and their social media presence. Almost all of them are on X with brand new accounts, most of them created right around the time of their surgery, if not literally the day after. Immediately, you can tell that a lot of these accounts have similar patterns to them, right? For instance, with the usernames, patient 2 calls themselves N1 telepathy, which N1 is the name of the chip. Paired with P7 for patient 7, Telepath 8 for patient 8, or Neuronova 9 for patient 9. You get the idea. And these accounts that start post-surgery tend to give updates about the surgery, you know, positive updates about how well they're doing and how amazing the technology is and how smart Elon Musk is and how grateful they are for the technology and all of that. Additionally, though, I'm also finding that they're also reposting things like from Tesla and SpaceX and anything within the Musk's cinematic universe. So anyways, I'm putting together this list and patient 4 stands out to me, Mike Malgario. And his surgery was in early 2025, I think around February from what I can tell. He's a pretty advanced ALS patient, so he has almost no movement in his body, and he has a job as a survey technician. Now he's one of the few, if not the only one, that I can't find really any social media information on. Like no Twitter, X, no Instagram, no Facebook, nothing. And my first thought is like, okay, well maybe he's just a private guy and he wants privacy, which would be totally understandable. But then I realized that he is one of the few patients that Neuralink includes in their big events like the summer funding update. They show this one video clip of him that I've seen, you know, a few times over, but it's the same one of him talking about how happy he is that he has Neuralink and how he's one of the few patients that has a full-time job to support his family and he couldn't do it without Neuralink. It also is a bit bizarre that anytime I go to Google Neuralink patient 4, it literally says that there is no publicly known patient 4. Not no publicly known info, sparse info about this patient, no publicly known Neuralink patient 4. Like he doesn't exist, but he does exist because we have 12 patients, 13? One, something like that. Every other patient, there's at least one article or one announcement that pops up, but not for patient 4. Actually, there is one thing that does pop up, and it's a pretty concerning GoFundMe. It was created on June 24th, 2025, so around 4 months after his surgery, and the language stopped me cold. Trigger warning, by the way. He's ready to give up on life, people. Not an understatement. Everything has been taken from him. He is not in a good place mentally, financially, physically, or emotionally. The GoFundMe was created by someone named Ryan Biggs, who says he's Mike's Xbox friend. Mike got his surgery in February. This is 4 months after his surgery, and his friend is describing him as... So I start going through the GoFundMe a little bit more because I see that Ryan has posted some updates and they're screenshots of Mike begging for rent money in what looks like a Discord chat or something. On July 2nd, Ryan had posted an update saying that there was this massive influx of donations that came through and the timing couldn't have been better because Mike was just basically begging everybody for rent money. And he literally posts a screenshot of a conversation that's not even between him and Mike. It looks like it's between Mike and some girl named Avery where he's saying, I hate to ask this, but I'm stuck in an embarrassing and tight spot. Can I borrow some cash? Rent's coming up and we're short. I'm so sorry for asking. Like, this feels like not a friend supporting a friend, right? Anyways, I decided to look into Ryan Biggs because who the F is this guy? You know, like, what's his deal? He was also very hard to pin down, you know, very little social media. But I did find one LinkedIn page, which I'm pretty sure is his, and it says that he's a risk management consultant at Assurance, which, upon further investigation, was an insurance company that was acquired by Marsh McLennan, another insurance company, in April of 2020. Marsh McLennan is one of the largest insurance brokers in the world. Like, they handle corporate liability for major companies, including, and not limited to, medical device manufacturers. Just worth noting. He has a few posts from 6 years ago relating to work, and then nothing, like total silence, until suddenly 3 posts about a GoFundMe from about 4 months ago. And he didn't just post the GoFundMe one time, like he shared it repeatedly with his professional network, and the posts got around 10 shares each without any comments or likes, which is weird, and for a dormant account that hasn't posted much in 6 years, I think is notable. You do not post about your friends' medical emergency on your professional LinkedIn account unless you have terrible judgment, or this is your work, maybe? Here's what he posted 4 months ago. The GoFundMe had less than $300 after a little over a week. Yesterday was absolutely insane and took us to over 19K. However, Neuralink, misspelled, saw the GoFundMe, and they are going to make Battlefield 4 compatible with Neuralink, misspelled in a different way, an absolute miracle and storybook ending. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. He spells Neuralink incorrectly 2 different ways within one post, which is weird because in the GoFundMe, he spells it correctly. I'm speculating here, but it's giving plausible deniability. Like, I don't even know how to spell their name. Like, how could I be working with them? Again, total speculation on my part. And that's the vibe it's giving off. And I tried to look up the Battlefield 4 claim to the best of my ability and didn't see any news about that. I searched Neuralink's blog, press releases, gaming news, YouTube, Reddit. Nothing. So why is Ryan calling this a storybook ending when his friend is still described as the game doesn't exist and nothing seems to actually be resolved? Like, what about this is a storybook ending? So I did what I always do when something smells a bit off, and that's chase the money. So I went back to the GoFundMe page and I went to the donors list. I start scrolling through the donors list and I see small donations, you know, $10 here, $25 there, lots of anonymous donations. And then I see a $3,000 donation from none other than Siobhan Zillis. Are you... I immediately stopped scrolling. I am aghast. Like, what the actual fuck? For those of you who are unfamiliar, Siobhan is the Director of Operations and Special Projects at Neuralink, one of the most senior executives at the company. Oh, and on top of that, she's also the mother of 3 of Elon Musk's children. And she's donating to whose GoFundMe? Like, why would Siobhan do it this way? Like, wouldn't it just be better to cover the costs through the trial? You know, like you're supposed to? Is it appropriate or even legal for a senior company executive to be personally donating to a patient's crisis fund? I mean, doesn't that create some kind of conflict of interest? Doesn't that blur the line between company's responsibility and personal charity? I mean, the FDA has some pretty strict laws about that as well. I mean, I think I already know the answer to this, but was this psychiatric crisis reported to the FDA? Because I know that they have pretty strict requirements when it comes to clinical trial sponsors reporting serious adverse events in their public filings. I don't know, man, but ideations 4 months after getting an experimental brain surgery seems like it would probably qualify for that. If you don't report these kinds of adverse reactions to places like the FDA, then no other patients are actually giving informed consent because they're not informed about what potential adverse reactions there might be. I don't have all the answers for this, but what I do know is that if Mike is struggling financially, mentally, physically, 4 months after volunteering for an experimental brain surgery, that is on Neuralink. 100%, because Mike is giving up a hell of a lot more than Neuralink is at this point. And the fact that he is even struggling at all financially, the fact that they're not paying him on top of covering medical expense, because here's the God honest truth. Mike is generating data every single day that makes Neuralink's products a lot better. And that helps recruit more patients. And that helps make their pitch better to investors and more compelling. He is doing exactly what they need him to do, regardless of if it's an adverse event or not. Shame on you, Elon Musk. You're the wealthiest man in the world and you're leaving your trial participants to crowdfund their survival. A monster. And look, trying to be objective here, I don't know if Mike is actually... I don't know if Ryan Biggs is even real. Like, I don't know any of that from where I'm sitting. I can't know that. But what I do know is that this looks bad. Like, really, really bad. I did reach out to Ryan Biggs. I sent him an email, so we'll see. I reached out to who I believe is Mike's partner, but no response yet. So Neuralink, if you want to dispute any of this, you know where to find me.
Was Melania wearing a collar with JFK on it at Jimmy Carter's funeral? Stick around. We're going to talk about it, and you're not going to want to miss this one. Trust me. You see, a lot of people were speculating that that was a picture of President Kennedy hugging one of his kids when they were younger. And I can see why people would think that. I mean, that hair, it's pretty hard to confuse. But why on earth, of all things, would she choose to wear a collar with JFK on it at Jimmy Carter's funeral? Well, have you seen my video where I show these 3 exact dots and these 3 exact dots and show you who they belong to? No? You haven't seen that one? Well, if you haven't, stick around, because we're going to get into something about Melania that you may have not seen of mine yet either. You see, if you've never come across any of my videos, I talk about how when certain people in the limelight, like government people and actors and musicians, go bye-bye, or at least when they tell us they go bye-bye, they don't really go bye-bye, they just become someone else new in the limelight. And well, they love to leave us little cryptic clues, kind of like this one, which makes me wonder, when Melania passes, I wonder if someone will wear a collar with Princess Diana on it. Oh, you haven't seen that video of mine either? Well, here you go. Now, before you watch this, clear your mind, open it up, forget everything you've ever known, and just look at the evidence. In an attempt not to upset the very, very kind content moderators, I'm just going to present you some information and let you make up your mind. But before you make up your mind completely, stick around to the end, because I do have a smoking gun. And yes, their features are quite different. But when you switch personalities full-time, a mask doesn't cut it. You need to make some permanent improvements. But cosmetics doesn't change the way you sit. It doesn't change the way you wave. And apparently doesn't even change the way you dress. And did you know that Donald Trump aggressively pursued Diana after her divorce? They also like to put the truth right in plain sight, not just visually, but audibly. Take a listen.
Mr. and Mrs. Trump? Mr. and Mrs. Trump?
Have you ever taken a look at what Barron Trump looks like? He resembles someone an awful lot. Gotta just be a coincidence, though. Definite coincidence. I did promise you guys a smoking gun, though, and I don't want to disappoint. And if you're smart and you're trying to deceive people, you get rid of identifying markers. So, of course, they don't get rid of that. And even though I see a little remnants there, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these. Those. I'll show you. Now, you're going to fool the masses by getting rid of the most recognizable identifying marker. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to fool this guy. And that, and that, and that, and that are pretty unmistakable. There's more. And although less obvious, so are these. And like I said, I'm not saying anything here. I'm just showing you for you to make up your own mind. The most likely scenario here is that I'm just a crazy person and I'm delusional. And even if I wasn't, this would all just be for entertainment purposes only. I don't really think people would go through the trouble of faking someone's death. And well, I did that video about a year ago, so I thought it was time to see if I could find some more like that, and that, and that, and well, I'll circle it. Voila, I can't imagine who these belong to. Oh my gosh, would you look at that, Melania and Diana. And before this version of me tells you this was just for entertainment purposes and yada yada yada, I just want to thank my subscriber Jacqueline for bringing the whole collar thing to my attention. And guys, if you would ever like to subscribe, I have an amazing subscriber group where you can post and you don't get judged by anyone that doesn't have an open mind, because no one with an unopened mind subscribes to me. So feel free to join, especially if you're on the FB. We're growing by leaps and bounds, but I have a subscription on all my platforms where you can get a hold of me, because if you aren't a subscriber, you really can't get a hold of me, because I just have too many people reaching out. But also there's 50 subscriber-only videos that have loads more information in it because I'm not as censored in there. Now, back to this thing. You see, people's faces don't line up this perfectly well unless they're the same person. Usually eyes or nose or mouth distance will be off a little bit, but you will see it's a seamless transition other than a little bit of nose shaping and eye shaping. But of course, this is all for entertainment purposes. People, I know that this stuff doesn't really go on. I just do this for the likes and the clicks and the views. I don't really care about waking up humanity so we can take our power back and figure out who and where we are in this crazy place and that God is most certainly real. Entertainment only.
Too many coincidences.
Here's why you should never wake someone during sleep paralysis. A man in the US posted this creepy video. According to him, he woke up in the middle of the night to strange noises, heavy moans or raspy breathing. When he looked at his wife, he was, to put it mildly, shocked. She was lying on her back with her eyes wide open, twitching slightly, like she was trying to move but just couldn't. So he tried to wake her up. He patted her cheeks, shook her by the shoulders, yet she seemed to be in some kind of trance. For anyone who doesn't know, sleep paralysis is a state where a person wakes up but their body stays completely immobilized. In those moments, the brain is stuck between sleep and reality. And that's when many people start seeing figures in the dark, feeling a presence in the room, or even hearing strange sounds. When his wife finally came to, she could barely speak. She was terrified and said that the whole time she felt a dark figure shaking her by the shoulders and slapping her across the face. Have you ever had sleep paralysis, and what did you feel in that moment? Tell us in the comments.
Sleep paralysis will always be one of the creepiest experiences ever. And the crazy part is where you just can't tell whether it's actually real or it's just your brain creating scenarios, maybe hallucinating or whatever.
BlackBerry did not fail. They were shut down. Watch this.
Fully encrypted two-way messaging that is absolutely inaccessible by anyone, including us. It is untrackable, untraceable, unhackable.
This is why they shut it down.
It's texting.
No. Do you know how much it costs to send a text message?
Yeah. 10 cents, and the network gets every penny. I'm never going to see that much. Right, but these texts are sent via data. So, behind the network's back. Which means unlimited free texting. Only on BlackBerry. Fuck yes.
BlackBerry was the ultimate FU type of phone. The government didn't like this, so they shut it down. As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
This old phone shows a parallel dimension. So this person has an old phone that when they record with it is able to identify a parallel universe where a Mandela effect has apparently occurred. So many people remember Britney Spears having a plaid skirt in this video. But then when you look it up, every video shows her wearing a black skirt. Except when you apparently record it with an old phone. And then there's the Oops, I Did It Again video where everyone remembers Britney Spears having a microphone attached to her face. But then when you look up the video, no microphone. But again, when this person uses that same old phone, there's clearly a microphone. And again, if it's never been, why are so many dolls and costumes using it? So many people remember Ellie Woods having a pink car in Legally Blonde. But apparently, no she didn't. So let's use the phone. Looks like a pink car to me. Now, did Pikachu have a black tail or a yellow tail? The phone says black, but reality says yellow. Do you remember Looney Tunes with a U or Looney Tunes with an OO? Reality says U, but old phone says OO.
So if the phones don't match, right, which universe are we actually living in right now?
I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard, which probably doesn't help my cause. But I was just inside. I'm by myself with my dog. She's in that room upstairs. Josie? Josie. Yeah, she's just been staring at that, and then she started barking, and she growled, and when she growled, I kind of like booked it. Staring at that, and then she started barking, and she growled, and when she growled, I kind of like booked it. I just don't really know what she's staring at, because again, like, this is usually how she looks when she's waiting for me to come in, and I'm just like, what? What is it? So a lot of you guys have also been asking questions about the graveyard. Yes, we do indeed have a graveyard on this property. So this was my grandparents' ranch, and it was their wish to be buried right here, just where they were. And before they passed away, they buried all of their cats right here where you see the little crosses. And so that's really all that there's to it, but things have been quite strange lately. Like, for some reason, cows just like come to this area sometimes and like surround it, because we during the day we leave that gate. See, this is what I'm talking about. They literally just come and hang out here all the time now. It's a newer development. Like, why? They just kind of come and really graze around this area, and they just kind of will freeze and move. So, yeah. Hi. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just like stand and like. Are you for real right now?
All right, so now eggs is not even safe. They are engineering eggs. They don't even come from real chickens. They can make these eggs in a matter of minutes. They mix up a solution. They are actually they're handcrafting yolks. That's calcium they putting into the egg. They are engineering laboratory eggs. That's why, if you really understand, like, for people that try to go pure organic, and I even feel like our organic food is not even like organic, but everybody knows anything white is not real. Like, if you go in the supermarket and you buying eggs, damn, even the brown eggs ain't safe. You know what? Never mind. I was going to say buy brown eggs, but yeah, your eggs ain't, some of you, I don't know what's real and what's not at this point. Good luck.
Nobody can rightfully say whether this is real or AI generated anymore. It's a video of these shapeshifters changing and shifting on stage like for a performance, passing it off as some sort of illusionist performance, but there's actually something a lot darker happening here. Allegedly filmed in the 90s, hence the video quality, and before AI generated videos were a thing. But obviously AI can intentionally generate videos to look blurry, grainy, and like they were filmed in the 90s. We genuinely don't know what's real and what's AI generated anymore, and this is sparking some huge debates online. People saying these shapeshifters were performing some sort of ritual for the elites, and others that it's definitely 100% AI. Grok AI on X couldn't seem to make up its mind, telling us it's authentic 90s footage one moment and oh, never mind, it's actually AI generated the next. So I took matters into my own hands and popped this video into an online AI video detector, which told us it's 99.85% not AI generated, so it's real. And then it told us it's 99.83% AI generated when I ran it again. It also doesn't seem to be able to make up its mind. This is actually very concerning. If AI video detectors can no longer tell us what's real and what's AI generated, we can't prove anything anymore. AI videos are going to be thought to be real, and real videos are going to be thought to be AI. Nothing is real anymore. You can take a video of the most incredible, mind-blowing thing you've ever seen, and no one will ever believe you.
That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching out for this far. If you've enjoyed, please make sure you drop an alien emoji on the comment section below so that I can know that you've watched up to this far. Guys, also share your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this video. And guys, I love you so much. I'll catch you on my next one.